In this new chapter, we will be learning about the representation, like the representation of whom, the representation of people via the representatives in the parliament. So all these things we are going to learn now. So the Lok Sabha the Lok Sabha is directly elected by all the adult citizens as their representative body. Any Indian citizen over 25 years of age is eligible. So, any Indian citizen, you have to understand, he or she must be the Indian citizen. Any Indian citizen over 25 years of age is eligible, subject to a few disqualifications such as conviction to certain offences like you have been commit you have committed serious offenses and you haven't completed your punishment yet, so all these things, then been declared as being of unsound mind, it finds out like you are a pagal person, or insolvency and others, to contest elections. The Lok Sabha reserves nearly one quarter of seats for people belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The number of seats reserved in proportion to their share of population in each state. It is interesting to see how composition of the house has changed over the years. Okay, like a few trends are evident. The proportion of women has crept up from 5% in the first Lok Sabha to 11% in the 16th, that is the 2014 Lok Sabha. Now, guys, you have to understand, like, I could have made you learn this parliament as a very straightforward chapter. I wouldn't have given any statistics. I wouldn't have taught you in a very lucid manner. Why am I all doing this? Because you know these particular words. See, like if in your answers you are going to write a few trends are it. The proportions of women has crept up from 5% in the first Lok Sabha to that of 11% in the 16th Lok Sabha in bracket year 2014. So this adds up to your marks. We are just not writing about the parliament, about the representation, but also about the representation of women. Now you must be saying why the representation of women is such important. Because इतिहास गवाह है, women has not been represented properly in many sectors of society. So all these things are really very important to understand. There have been several attempts to amend the constitution to reserve legislative seats for women. Even Sonia Gandhi, she is the Congress Supremo, the president, the interim president. She has this idea and she has been fighting on this idea that there must be 30% of reservation for representation of women in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha. The last such bill was introduced in 2008 and was passed by Rajya Sabha but lapsed by the dissolution of Lok Sabha in 2014. This bill sought to reserve 33% of the seats in Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly for women for the next 15 years, with reserved seats rotating every 5 years. So this is what I was talking about. The Lok Sabha has been getting older. In the first Lok Sabha, there was just one member above the age of 70 years and none over 75 years. The 16th Lok Sabha has 46 members who are at least 70 years of old, with 15 of them being over 75 years of age. So you have to understand the transition. Once again, I am telling you this thing. The Lok Sabha has been getting older. Older in what sense? बहुत पुरानी हो गई, दिल्ली भी तो पुरानी हो गई, उस तरीके से नहीं. Older means the representatives and their age. So first Lok Sabha had only one person whose age was above 70 years and none of them was above 75 years. But when it comes to the 16th Lok Sabha, 46 members are above the age of 70, with 15 of them also being over 75. The percentage of young MPs, that is those in the age group of 25 years to 40 years, has declined from 26% in the first Lok Sabha to 13% in the 16th. The educational profile of MP has been improving with a more sizable share of graduates now. The what I said, you have to remember once again. I'm going little fast, but you have to understand. The educational profile of MPs has been improving with a more sizable share of graduates now. Means there are more graduates in the parliament. The first Lok Sabha had 23% of MPs without a matriculation certificate. So there were 23% of MPs जिन्होंने 10वीं भी पास नहीं की थी. We just declined to only 4% now. The percentages of the MP with at least an undergraduate degree has risen from 58% to that of 77%. So this is a really good thing to understand. Now MPs have also declared their professions. In what sense? Whereas 36% of the members of the first Lok Sabha were lawyers, the figure has declined to 7% in the 16th Lok Sabha. The percentage who claimed to be farmers has increased from 22 to 27%. Interestingly, none of the MPs in the first Lok Sabha had marked themselves as involved in political and social work, despite a large proportion of them having been involved in the independence movement. In the 16th Lok Sabha, 24% of the members have declared their primary profession as political and social service. So this is good. This is how the transition works, and in this way we have to understand one aspect of the parliament and all. So these videos are really very short, but they are with a lot of data. So please understand this particular thing very properly. In the next chapter we will be learning about performance and design issues.